This is a cautionary tale on not moving too fast when making any kind of important decision. See me now, hair thriving, flourishing, sugar and spice, everything nice. You might think that I haven't gone through any setbacks or mistakes in my journey. Wrong. That's because you weren't there when I was struggling and fighting for my life in 2021. I'm a long hair natural because I learned from my mistakes. Before I tell you guys this story and you laugh at my pain, go and hit the like button for me really quick. I'll give you a second. It was February 2021. It was a sunny day. I remember it like yesterday. It was 2021. A lot was going on. The pandemic had me shook. I was nitpicking small things about my natural hair journey that could easily be repaired by just leaving it the alone. I'd finally built up the strength and the courage to cut my hair. My hair is waist length, but this isn't the first time that I grew it waist length. The first time I grew it waist length was around 2020. My plan was to cut it from like around here when fully stretched. I had a habit of snipping off too much hair because I was confusing my hair's texture with damage. This is why I say it's extremely important to learn your texture and embrace it in the beginning of your journey. Because it's really like a mistake that I didn't have to make if I simply just understood how my hair works. Had I understood that sooner, my hair would be much longer. But I'm not complaining because waist length has always been like my primary goal. My next goal is tailbone length, but we'll get into that later. This was before I learned that type 4 natural hair is just naturally dry and it can naturally have a very textured feel to it, especially at the ends. A lot of us are ignorant to the way our hair texture works because of the fact that we've had to mask it with hair relaxers for so many years. I did that cut. It was like, okay, I was still able to manage. Everything was fine. I didn't feel like it was much of a loss. Then April came around. I decided to do another cut. This was the one that really did me in. I hyped myself up and I felt falsely empowered. I even went as far as looking up one of my favorite YouTubers. Basically, she had waist length type 4 natural hair like me, and she decided that she wanted to cut her hair up to here, basically. And her reasonings, they sounded a lot like my reasonings, which was she wanted her hair to be blunt, okay? She wanted like it to be extremely even, increased thickness, and on top of that, she just wanted her ends to be much more fresh than they were. So one day I got scissor happy, okay? I intended to only cut it up to like around here when like fully stretched. Tell me why I ended up cutting it up to here. So I'm empowered. I'm thinking I'm ready. Baby, look at my face. I was not ready. Weeks later, I blinked my eyes, guys. I felt completely different about my decision. Like I felt completely different. Like regretted it through and through. Like I literally went from being okay, and then one day I was doing my hair. I'm like moisturizing my twists, and I'm like, I would love to put my hair in a bun right about now. And it spiraled. It was a downward spiral from there. It just got worse and worse.
Why would you do that? You can't even put your hair in a bun anymore. You just cut off 2 years of length. You know you shouldn't.
Long hair is not everything. When I first started my natural hair journey and my hair was short, I reveled in it. I enjoyed it. I made up my mind the minute I decided I was going natural, I would enjoy every single part of it, from being completely bald headed to where I am now. You have to put into perspective, like, this was the first time that I'd ever grown my hair to waist length. The first time ever. And I've read a lot of like stories and reviews and blog posts about teenage women and like just women in general having that first time that they cut their hair and completely regret it. But these circumstances were different. Like I'd enjoyed having my waist length hair for all of 2 seconds. I blinked my eyes and felt completely different about my decision. So there I was going through my first haircut crisis at my big age. I can't make this up. Like I said, I do not regret the decision to cut my hair a couple years ago. Like I literally don't. I got what I wanted. It grew back even thicker. But the reality is I didn't have to cut it to the extent that I did in order to get the results that I have now. That's the reality. I did too much. I acted in a moment of like, angst, and I shouldn't have done that. But I don't regret it because Here are some of the benefits of making that decision to cut my hair. It solidified the fact that I have very much so learned so much about my hair. I know how to get it back from, you know, collarbone length to waist length within a 3-year period. Stat, easy, no issue, effortless. You know what I mean? 2, it made me more intentional. I got back on it with my hair regimen. I readopted a lot of the simple practices that I'd taken up in the beginning of my journey that helped me to grow my hair out the first time. I went into the second round of growing my hair waist length much more confident. The whole situation gave me more confidence. I'm no longer sweating the small stuff. I'm enjoying my journey. Nothing's that serious. I no longer unnecessarily trim my ends. I'm not scissor crazy anymore. It's all good now. I have learned my lesson. Plus, I did learn a lot throughout this journey. In the moment, it felt nightmarish. It was very hard to handle. I did not deal with it well. But looking back on it, I'm glad that I did it because I learned so much about my hair. I feel like mistakes and setbacks are almost inevitable, but the way you handle them can be so transformative in your natural hair journey. Reaching your length goals can really be a flex.